So I ummed and ahed about whether to roll with this now. This is the Bad Influence Christmas special from Season 2, and aired in the 16th of December 1993. And I know Christmas has gone, but back then when you were like 10 or 11, Christmas lasted well, you know, into the new year until you went back to school. So let's go with it.
Hello, welcome to Bad Influence. As you can see, we've got some friends around for our Christmas party!
And Mario and Psyche would not be that amicable.
Unfortunately, this is the last Bad Influence in the present series.
Aww. The good news is we're looking at all the good stuff that's coming out in the new year, including a look at one of the first 3DOs in the country. Is this the console that's going to take over the world?
Sadly not.
The main review is Super Empire Strikes Back on the SNES.
Oh, nice. Relevant.
And Z-Right visits the future where three-dimensional television and violins that sound like entire orchestras are just around the corner.
But first,
oh, nice cardigan, Violet.
It's the intro sequence to a new beat-em-up called Rise of the Robots.
Oh, God.
You control a cyborg who's been sent into a robot research laboratory where apparently all the
Look at the way he's walking. You could tell it was bad even then.
And are killing off all the humans. Nowadays, making a game like Rise of the Robots can be more like producing a movie than writing.
There's Cool Spot and Zool in the background.
Storyboards. For example, here's the storyboard for the intro sequence you just seen from Rise of the Robots. And there's a spaceship going into the buildings, and over here's the robot coming through the line.
Oh, there was such a big build-up for it, wasn't there? They even dedicated the intro credits to Series 3 and 4 entirely to it.
I decided to put all those ideas down on paper and came up with this, the so-called games design document. This is like your instruction book and some. It's got all the information.
It's like a menu for a bad restaurant.
Through the levels, pictures of the backgrounds, pictures of some of the robots. It's all in here. But nobody went near a computer.
If that's the entire game design pack, then you can see why they went into troubles.
Life like this, it's kind of skeletons, wireframe models. And if I change our viewpoint, you might get a better idea of what this one is.
No, not really, mate. Oh, it's a monkey.
Add a bit of texture to this model. Now you can see that it's a robot with an ape-like head. The next stage, of course, is to animate the
ape-like body, really.
They use a program called a keyframer. The models are represented initially by boxes, so you can quickly get a sense of how they're going to move. The interesting thing is that in this sequence, only the white lines were done by the artist, the initial frame and the end frame, and all the black lines were done by the computer.
Lazy sausages.
And the only time the artist had to tweak it is here, where the computer didn't quite get the position of the model just right.
Two other interesting facts about the game are, firstly, that the backgrounds were designed by a professional interior designer, and secondly, you can't just bash the same buttons again and again to win, because the computer will suss you out. You see, the computer...
Oh, look at it!
...opponents will sort of watch the way you fight and remember it, and then they'll adjust their tactics to cut through your defences.
I mean, I actually quite like the game. I'm not proud of that fact, but I think I'm more drawn to the hype still grabs me even today, and the graphics. I think I wanted it to be good, so I kind of believe it's good, but I know it's drastically terrible.
Hello, festive furlers. I'm dead excited because I'm preparing for the best Christmas party this year. Hey! All my friends are coming, and Spiky and Flash and Cuddles, and even Andy and Violet too. Right, I've not got much time, so here's a quick cheat for Super Tennis on the SNES. First of all, select your player, and then get controller 2 and press L 5 times. 1, 2.
What about if you don't have controller 2? Not all of us can afford 2 controllers, mate.
Times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally X again. And wait for the music to change. And your player will become an instant top seed. Brilliant. And now, for the first of my guides to a better Christmas. How to eat chocolates off the Christmas tree without anybody knowing. First of all, carefully unwrap the chocolate. Eat it.
Take him off the back, obviously.
Wrap it up again and hang it on the tree. Perfect.
So that's why he's so spotty. Our main review this week is Super Empire Strikes Back on the SNES, the follow-up to last...
Cool Spot is tripping his balls off in the background. Was that Bubsy the Bobcat as well?
With some spectacular Mode 7 graphics. There are 14 levels representing all the best bits from the film. You even get to fly in the Millennium Falcon through an asteroid field with
nice.
Leia at your side. As in
Princess Leia.
Start as Luke Skywalker, complete with
Leia cake.
But you can change to playing Han Solo or Chewie on later levels. Here's Han in the freezing chamber. Watch out for those carbons. You're going to need skill, courage, and all the force you can muster. Here's Alex.
This is a major improvement on Super.
Alex was always enthusiastic.
The first couple of levels are a bit too hard, but persevere because there's some great...
Keep your eye on the screen then, mate. Jesus Christ.
Bit from the film. I'm in the snow speed, and what I've got to do is bring down those AT-ATs. If you press left and right, then you can flick out a rope.
Oh, I love pseudo 3D. Look at that.
Got to spin round. These graphics are excellent.
Have the sprites just swap out. It's brilliant.
Brought him down.
Nice one, mate.
Here I am on the Dagobah Forest level. I've just met Yoda, so I've earned the Force. I've got loads of different powers, but what I need now is elevation. This will help me get up onto this top platform. There's loads more forces, including heal, which helps you when your energy's a bit low, and invisible, which really helps.
This is why I love platformers. There's so many things you can add to them, methods of getting from platform to platform.
This is fantastic. It's the best film conversion I've ever played.
You can make pretty much any game type work, not game type, but any story work within the platform aesthetic, playstyle. Niche.
In his final report from the States, Z. Wright has been to visit the Media Lab, part of the Massachusetts...
You can see why this was such a good Christmas build-up programme.
It's a place where the future is just a train ride away.
I think this was the peak of bad influence.
Hi, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology is so famous that it has its own subway station dedicated...
Although, I must admit, I wasn't that much a fan of the Z. Wright parts. I mean, they were sometimes interesting, but I'm not really bothered what's going on over there. With all this modern stuff, it didn't affect me at the time.
Walk on the wild side. Down here is the holography lab, where they're working on the leading edge. These are some experimental holographic animations.
I mean, look. Well, it looks awful. What's going on there?
Like these. They were made by using 3 beams of laser light, red, blue, and green. One of the biggest computers in the world is needed to compute the vast amount of information in this cubic image.
There's a Volkswagen Beetle. I mean, yeah, it's impressive, but, you know, at the time I wanted to know about what games I could buy, and I wanted to see them using Commodore 64 games, which they did once or twice.
Or in the next 50 years, we'll be able to show some great improvements in holographic displays.
In the visual language
Thank God for that.
Students are working on software that can change the viewer's focus from one thing to another. They can do interesting things with layers of text and even play around with it.
Funky.
On this map, which looks very confusing with all the information on show, they can shift the focus to just highlight 1 or 2 features.
Clarity.
This software can also be used in animation.
Bizarreness.
Which would otherwise be difficult to achieve. These little boxes are the product of another piece of software called the Video Streamer. And this represents a piece of...
Aren't they just those little fun-sized cereal boxes hanging from string?
The technique was created by Professor Gloriana Davenport. Here, all the clips of the movie that have been shot for a film can be easily selected and edited together like a moving card index.
It's quite a cool timeline, isn't it? How it comes towards you in 3 dimensions.
Along the bottom of the screen.
Not very practical, though. I wouldn't like to edit a video
you can turn on the
using that method.
The edit exact. It's a really quick and flexible way to edit a story.
Yeah, it could be useful for, you know, picking out particular frames. I can see that.
Strange things with music.
Very fast, change of the bow and do a little tremolo.
This is a hyperviolin, invented by Professor Todd McCover. The computer already knows the piece of music, and so the bow acts like the conductor's baton.
So we want to measure lots of things about the way you're playing.
Button.
How loud and how soft.
The computer knows what's being played because of special transmitters built into each end of the bow and connected by a metal strip. Their signal is picked up by a receiver built into the violin. The computer can then...
it looks very flimsy, prototypey.
A visual readout on this monitor. The hyperviolin is designed to be used only by virtuoso musicians.
It is cool, these early days of...
The team here have also developed a drum...
connecting things to technology.
...fitted with its own computer.
These aren't even early days, but there were still pioneering things. And there's always pioneering things going on. It's never ending.
To Nam, happy Christmas, love Psyche. That's nice. P.S. I won't be able to make the party. I've got to do something. Oh well, all the more cake for everyone else. Now time for part 2 of my guide to a better Christmas. Your presents are most likely to be hidden in number 1, the spare room wardrobe, number 2, the cardboard box under your mum's bed, or number 3, in the chest of drawers next to the front door. Right.
Do people hide presents? Oh, before Christmas Day.
On the Mega Drive.
Oh, you're giving away Father Christmas completely there. Just in case there's any, I don't know, 10-year-olds hanging on to the concept.
You'll get a secret hidden game that's like
possible.
a classic arcade game, Asteroids. Brilliant.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Oh, look, it's another Christmas card. Oh, it's from Cuddles and Flash. We've got to do something too. Oh.
It's like those cheap Christmas cards you used to give out at school, made from bog paper, basically.
I'm not going to Nam's party, are you?
Nah, I'm going to stay in and dye my hair a funny colour.
So she already had. As this is the last in the present series, we've decided to devote the entire news and preview section to showing you everything that's going to be happening in the new year. But can we fit it in the time? Here goes.
I imagine so, as it's pre-recorded, Andy.
No Games Roundup would be complete without a beat-em-up. Apart from Rise of the Robots, the other big one coming out next year is Eternal Champions on the Mega Drive.
Woohoo!
To better Street Fighter 2.
That's quite a big aim.
And it features the greatest fighters of all eternity coming together for one last grand tournament.
Hence the name Eternal Champions.
Coming Fast and Furious next year. This is R-Type 3.
He moves his arms about a lot when he's playing, doesn't he? I don't think he's actually playing.
Weapons have been beefed up to include laser blasts galore, remote robotic cannon pods, and a choice of 3.
Oh, it's like R-Type.
Inferno.
Was it R-Type? What game was that? I can't even remember.
Just another shoot 'em up. It's also a massive space odyssey. You've got to hurtle around an entire solar system, battling to survive against over 300 heavily armoured death craft.
Ground Zero Texas on the Mega.
She makes the game sound so good.
The way games and films are coming closer and closer together. It features $3 million worth of footage shot exclusively for the game. You play an undercover agent investigating strange disappearances in a small Texas town, and before you know it,
is this Mad Dog McCree?
Alien invasion. The game producers reckon it's the best Mega CD game ever, but then they would, wouldn't they?
On to adventure games. This is the stunning Alone in the Dark 2, which finally hits the shops in January.
Oh, nice.
It's only available on PC, but then it needs all the power it can get to produce the incredible graphics.
I am going to cover the Alone in the Dark series, hopefully this year.
Cope with all sorts of devious puzzles, traps, and
ooh, kinky.
Another epic adventure on the PC is Stone Keep, starring 3D characters and backgrounds with 14 different locations. As with many of these big games nowadays, there's digitised movie footage.
And finally, in the adventure section, there's Young Merlin for the SNES. It's got 10 lands, loads of animation and digitised speech. The plot?
And a massive fat boar.
Merlin must outwit the king's army and battle assorted evil geezers. Blah, blah, blah.
Onward, 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 times are pressing.
Tails is buzzing.
This is the amazing Star Wars Space Sim Rebel Assault. The graphics are really film-like, and the characters...
Well, that's because they are a film sequence you're showing us.
...destroyers to fend off the advances of the evil empire. It's out now on PC CD-ROM, and it's coming out on Mega CD next year.
This one's a pinball sim. It's Dragon's Revenge for the Mega Drive.
Nice.
Sequel to the excellent Dragon's Fury. It's got bigger tables, more music, and it's out in January.
This watch is excellent, not because you can tell the time in it, but because it's also a tiny TV and video remote control, so you can switch televisions.
I was talking about that in my catalogue video.
Going, oh, sorry about that one. Oh, sorry about that one.
Well, they must all be the same TV, or the same brand.
After that brief interruption for gadget fans, have a look at Rock and Roll Race.
There's a lemming in the background. Oh, nice. I like this game.
Furious, laser-firing, bullet-biting road race. It features some great rock and roll tracks from bands like Black Sabbath and Steppenwolf.
And so to platform games. That funky duo Toe Jam and Earl return for another adventure on the Mega Drive. This second game finds them hunting stowaway Earthlings on the planet.
My word, this is almost too many games to take in. I'm getting an overload of nostalgia.
Programming problems, it won't be out till June. This is an early version, but it's looking like it's going to be well worth the wait.
I'm afraid that's all we've got time for now for some reviews of this week's games.
Sonic just smacked that girl's head in.
Right, now it's out on...
Did he clap her head?
Amiga, which you're looking at now, PC, Master System, Game Gear.
Oh, Amiga, we're looking at Amiga graphics, that is rare.
Breakfast tables, in sand pits and even in the bathtub.
The bad influence.
Clean race, here's Amanda with the Game Gear.
Look at that flickering on those
I've played
sprites.
this game on other systems, but I think it works better on the Game Gear. Probably because it feels like you've got a wheel in your hand. This is where you choose the characters. Every character has a different personality and different driving ability.
This is a great game. This is a great game on nearly all platforms.
Every level has a different car. Here I'm in a Porsche and I'm on a desktop. It's very hard on the desktop.
What kind of Porsche is that?
You can fall off.
It doesn't look like a Porsche.
But I've just fallen off myself. So the cars are very hard to control, so the level is very hard indeed.
I mean, it's not, is
the
it?
graphics are excellent for a Game Gear.
I was going to say 944, but it's not a 944.
There is a two-player option, which you play on just the one Game Gear, which is definitely cosy.
Nice.
I'm using the buttons, and Alex is using the D-pad. The idea
We can
of
see
the
that.
game is
Thanks.
to get away from the other player, and then that person gets the bonus. If you've got a Game Gear, you should definitely get this. It's brilliant fun.
An excellent game, particularly in two-player mode.
Graphics are pretty good for the Game Gear as well.
I found this game quite hard to control at first, but it's very playable once you get the hang of it.
And the scores for Micro Machines, both the boys and the girls gave it an above average 4 out of 5.
Meet the Cyberpunks. 3 little chaps with funny haircuts who are the stars of a new Amiga game.
Listen to that funky music.
Plot. Baddies have taken over
Unmistakably Amiga.
and you've got to restore order by shooting lots of things. Here's Lakesh.
And those aliens are almost unmistakably from the Aliens films.
Gameplay. The aim of this game is to find keys and disks which allow you to go into computer terminals and discover maps of the area. The characters are quite cute and the graphics are okay, but the problem with the game is that you feel it's quite a laborious task. You don't enjoy it. There's not much excitement.
Who cares? The music is
This
awesome.
game in the world is just mind-numbingly boring.
I love the hairstyles, but I didn't like anything else about it.
A run-of-the-mill platform game. The gameplay is just not varied enough.
I mean, I can find something good in even the worst games, so,
And the boys gave it a dull 2 out of 5.
you know, I'm not... I shouldn't review games, because I just find the best thing in it and focus on it.
If you're not familiar with the system, it's a CD-based machine. It'll play photo CDs, music CDs, and
Wow.
soon you'll be able to get movies on CD for it too. But it's really catching people's imagination as a sophisticated games console. It's recently been launched in America, where it comes with a racing game called Crash and Burn.
I mean, the graphics do look very good.
Dangerous Sunday drivers and race around some very detailed texture-mapped tracks. There's a choice of weapons, armour and gadgets to keep you in the race, and the game has some excellent video footage and speech effects.
I mean, even today they look like good graphics, to me.
The moment, but here's a quick look at a couple we know.
Maybe I have low standards.
Time to get twisted with your host, Twink Fizdale.
This one's called Twisted. It's an unusual idea for a game.
Ooh, that looks very irritating.
Glamorous assistant Hannah in one of Hollywood's glitziest game shows. You're up against 6 other strange contestants, and there are thousands of brain-busting challenges.
Put on your thinking cap, kids.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to John Madden Football.
John Madden Football has been converted from the Mega Drive and makes full use of the 3DO's facilities, with digitised players in stadiums and ball-by-ball commentary.
I mean, 3D games do look awesome.
System's due to be launched in this country next April. It will probably cost around £500, which is
And that was the problem.
the games console, but the manufacturers are hoping that you will buy this instead of buying a photo CD and a CD player as well.
Or buy it instead of buying a car, maybe. Or a deposit on a house.
Well, Andy and Violet have obviously been delayed a little. Still, there's time to do one more cheat before the shed fills up.
Because let's not forget, the house prices were very cheap in the 90s. Compared to what they are now, especially.
Through the Sleepwalker logo, type in dinga ding, dang my danga long ling long. And the noses will turn green. Then, at any point during the game, you can press return and skip levels. Right. Well, here's the final part of my guide to a better Christmas. On Christmas Eve, it's always dead difficult to get to sleep, so this is a trick that sometimes works. Here we go. Ovaltine. And now, to get to sleep.
There we go.
That at home, Nam has been specially trained. If you want to read the data blast, set your video recorder going now.
Damn right I do, Andy.
The competition was to win a 3DO with some games, and the competition question was, what does RISC stand for, as in the RISC chip that's inside a 3DO? Runners-up will get Bad Influence T-shirts. Your names are going across the screen now. Well done. The answer was Reduced Instruction Set Chip. And the winner, Gareth Williams from Hemel Hempstead. Well done.
This is the last show, so there's no competition. If 3D only we could stay longer, but it's an
Oh, Violet. As it's you, I'll let it go as a good joke.
until the autumn. Until then, we have to say goodbye.
All right then, ta-ta,
Peace in, yeah.
So there we go, there was the Bad Influence Christmas special. I apologise if it bothers you that I've gone out of sync. I will put it into a playlist at some point and put more back into sync, and we'll get back on track as the year progresses. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good New Year, as we've already had it. Ta-ta!
Happy Christmas, fertilers.